I'm going to tell you something that made my hair stand on end. There's this thing called shared psychosis. I was watching a really interesting interview with Dr. Bandy Lee. She's an American forensic and social psychiatrist, and she was talking about this thing called shared psychosis. It can happen within a huge group, or it can happen in a family unit. So I'm going to quote some lines from her. This is what she said. Symptoms of a delusional belief are transmitted from one individual to another when in close proximity with people or have constant exposure. It's not the healthy individuals who turn the impaired person around in the absence of intervention, but rather the sick individual who spreads their symptoms over time. So unless there's treatment, this is the natural progression that symptoms would spread quite dramatically. If there's a mentally ill member in the family and they are dominant, then the rest of the family, no matter how healthy they were to start with, they would even succumb to bizarre beliefs and delusions. Once you figure out who the primary individual is, the one who first had the illness, that is the only person that needs treatment. And once they are separated from the rest of the family returns to their baseline state. Listen, before I continue, I really want to say thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart for your support of my channel. I woke up this morning to 500 subscribers. I know it's not a big deal to most people. You know, most people aim for 5 million. But you see, that's the thing. YouTube has become so cold and calculating. People are just seen as numbers, as a means to an end. But I don't see you as a number. I see you as a living, breathing person with feelings. And for as long as I feel that way, 500 is damn awesome, man. So thank you so much. Enough of this emo talk. Let's get on with it. Okay, I just want to touch very briefly on how to tell if a person, a group, or a family is, basically nuts. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not an expert at this. So this list that I want to share with you is overly simplified. It's not definitive. It is just a guide to help you protect yourself if you need it. But if you are very well informed on narcissistic and dysfunctional families and cults, then just skip to the next chapter, yeah? So let's see how many in this list that you can relate to and say, oh yeah, that's it. Number one, image is everything. This group or this family is very preoccupied with image. What people say, how people look at them, they have to come out as perfect. The dominant person will have a mask in public, and then behind closed doors, it will be a different mask, and God knows whether the mask actually does come off or not. So image is everything. Number two, they use humiliation to break your spirit, whether it's mocking you or ridiculing you. Number three, a lack of direct communication. The narcissist or the leader of this psychotic cult has a very unique relationship with each individual. It is classic textbook divide and conquer, so that the people that they rule over can't compare notes, you see, because they all have a different experience of this narcissist, this dominant person. And also there's a lot of triangulation that happens. Triangulation is where I bitch about you to person B, and then I bitch about person B to you, and then, maybe to a third person. And this creates a lot of suspicion, a lot of unresolved anger and resentment, and also mistrust. So the group leader is the only one that people trust, because they are the conveyor of messages. They dictate what the narrative is about each individual. Number four is gaslighting. Gaslighting ensures that if anyone tries to get a clear picture by asking another member of the family, the other member of the family will have a different perspective because they've all been gaslighted. So nobody actually sees the whole picture. They only see bits of it, and they are not united enough to put the pieces together to form a picture. So gaslighting is another form of divide and conquer. Now, yes, number 5 is the silent treatment. The silent treatment is one of the most cruel, one of the most horrible, invalidating and soul-crushing forms of punishment. Most of the time you don't even know what you've said wrong, what you've done wrong, and then you get the silent treatment because, then not only are you being ignored, but they also put you in this confused state where you are preoccupied with thinking, what did I do wrong? What did I say wrong? And then you think yourself into a corner when you probably didn't say anything wrong. It's just a mind F, okay? Number 6, you belong to them. Like a cult leader, this dominant narcissistic family member is entitled to believe that you belong to them. The narc parent feels entitled to say and do whatever they want with their children, whether it's a father to a daughter or a mother to a son or the other way around. You see, they truly believe that you belong to them. Number 7, secrets. This group or this family has loads of secrets. And it keeps you constantly second-guessing everyone, second-guessing everything, keeps you confused, keeps you weak, while the dominant person has all the power in the world because they're the holder of the secrets. Number 8, the use of fear. Now, fear is the most effective weapon of all to keep you in your place, to keep you asleep, to keep you dumbed down, to keep you confused, to keep you weak. Now, the good news is there is always one person who escapes this house of horrors. This one person is the only sane person, and this person is the only one who sees what others don't. And this is why no contact is so effective, because when you leave a system like that, a system where you've been breathing the, Kool-Aid flavored air since probably the day you were born. But once you take yourself out of that and you're breathing clean, fresh air, then you get tremendous clarity. It's like magic. All you have to do is take yourself out of there and you become clear within weeks. If not weeks, then months, sometimes immediately. Because you see, it's rather like if you're doing a physical detox, right? You have to detox, you have to cleanse your system before you can absorb any nutrient. Once you detox your body, then only will it absorb the nutrients. So no contact is rather like that. You have to detox your mind. And once you have that clarity, now absolute clarity is not going to come immediately, okay? This is a process and it's not always linear. But once you take yourself away from this cult, you will gain some form of clarity. And once you get that clarity, it's a lot easier to start healing. But you cannot start healing until you have done a detox, an emotional soul detox. Shared psychosis is scary as hell, okay? Try not to rescue anyone. I know it's tempting to want to educate them because, we love them, we care for them, and we want to rescue them from that sick situation. But please do not do that, okay? Because no matter how much you love someone, how much you care for them, if they have a cold, are you going to go near them in the hope of curing them? You can't. You are going to end up infected. From what Dr. Bandy Lee said, mentally healthy people cannot turn the mentally ill around, but rather it's the mentally ill that will infect you. If you're ready to do no contact, and sometimes you don't even have to, because once you've got them figured out, once they know that you know, they're going to discard you, and no contact is really easy. But if you have to do it, then check out my next video. It's a really fun way of doing no contact. Hell, you might as well have some fun after all that suffering, right?